All right, we're obviously still not plowing yet. I got literally everything ready to go. That I brought the plow down here last night. Sharpened the points because I had some rolled edges from striking rocks, so I got the points sharpened. I went out back here and flagged the field out, laid my lands out, so that's all ready to go. Tractor's fueled up, everything's greased. And then today I got a phone call from my guy that I buy wheat from, said my wheat's ready, so I ended up going and picking that up instead. So I guess we'll start plowing tomorrow and should be able to hopefully get it all done in one day, hopefully. But before we get into this, what we got going on here, I only ended up, today was the last day to, you know, today's Friday. I gave you till Thursday. So yesterday was the last day that the guys that I picked for the Wyckoff drawing had to get a hold of me and tell me what they wanted. Well, Ed was the only one that actually ended up replying back damn near immediately after the video went up, so he was on the ball. The other two guys, never heard from them, so sucks to suck. So with that being said, I'm gonna draw a couple more. But Kevin Coors, I feel bad that you got screwed out of it on the last video, or the very first Wyckoff drawing I did. So Kevin, if you see this and you get a hold of me, this time it'll be easier because the email is going to be down here in the description, so it's not going to be the clusterfuck it was last time. Kevin, if you see this video, get a hold of me. We'll get you squared away. We'll get you something to make up for getting how you got screwed the last time around. So with that being said, he's out of the way. We're going to pick two more to make up for the two guys that didn't answer on the last video. I already did everything. Hopefully it didn't reset since my phone went to sleep. So Sean McPhee is going to be one. And Craig Garrison. So Sean McPhee, Craig Garrison, and Kevin Coors. You three. If you need a refresher on what's available for the prizes, go back to the last drawing video and take a look at it. That way I don't got to keep dragging shit out and showing it every time we do this. Ed took a rain gauge and one of the light gray hats, so there's still plenty of other stuff. So anyway, with that being said, this little bastard here was really testing my patience all week. I think I've had the carburetor off of it 4 times this week. Once a day up until this point. I think I started on Monday. It was getting to the point up until, I think, when the hell did I put the carb kit in it? I put a carb kit in it sometime last week, because up until that point it was where if you let it set for, you know, more than a couple hours, it would slightly flood itself out. It would start fine, but you'd have to crank it just a hair, and then when it did finally pop off, it'd smoke and sputter until it cleared the carburetor out, and then it'd pick up and run fine. And it would start, as long as you kept running it, or even if you shut it off and let it set for a few hours, it'd be fine. But if you let it set for like a day or more, it would like slightly flood itself out. Like not a lot, just a little. So I put a carb kit in it. Well, actually, first thing I did before I put a carb kit in it a couple weeks ago, I took the carburetor off and tried adjusting the float, because I pulled the needle valve out to check that, and I was like, well, needle valve's fine. We'll put a little bit more pressure on the float, see if that takes care of it, and it made it better, but it didn't cure the problem. So when I got my corn head parts, I got a carb kit for it, and it was last week, I'm pretty sure it was. I put that carb kit in it, and then after that, if you let it sit for more than about 6-7 hours, it would put like, it wouldn't run. Well, I guess the first time it did it, it actually did. It flooded enough that it was coming out of the, I'm on the right side. It would flood enough that it would actually come out of the hose. and put a puddle on the floor. So that was day one. So pull the carburetor back off, readjust. I mean, that time I had to like work to get it started. Like it took probably 2-3 minutes to get the damn thing started. But once it was running, it ran fine. You could shut it off. It wouldn't flood. It had to sit for a period of time. So if it was a float or if it was a needle valve problem, it was like ever so slight. Long story short, I won't go through the entire process that I did, but long story short, I tore the thing off 3 days in a row because every day it kept doing the same thing, and I can't even remember what the hell I did the other 2 times, but regardless, yesterday it did it, so I tore the carburetor back off, put the old shit back in it, other than I used the new gaskets and all that stuff. But put the old valve seat, I guess the only 3 things: the valve seat, and then the kit came with a new idle jet, and I put the old idle jet back in it. And today it was perfectly fine. Wasn't flooded out. I don't know. The only thing we could come up with was the counter bore in the new needle valve seat was like super duper big, and the needle valve didn't fit in it decent. It just kind of flopped around in there. The actual fuel hole in the bottom of the, I guess it'd be the top when the carburetor's inverted, but the actual hole that the fuel comes through, that the needle valve seats up against to shut the fuel off, that was the same size, but the counter bore that the body of the needle sat in was like super duper big. That's the only thing we can think of, but regardless, it's fine now. So, and then a couple weeks ago I went, and friends of ours are cleaning out a barn because they had to sell the farm to an industrial development, so they were cleaning out all their old parts, and they had this guy sitting on the shelf brand new, although it's as dusty as it is. It's been a long time since they've been dry fertilizer, so Lord knows how long it's been sitting there. But that's a new tube to replace this stretched out, crunched up mess of a tube. So gonna replace that while we're here. And before I unroll this tarp so we can dump seed in, I want to check and make sure there shouldn't be any holes in it, because it's never been, but better safe than sorry. I mean, I parked it outside with fertilizer in it, and it's gotten rained on, and I've never had any issues, so no reason to believe we'd have any issues now. If there is one, I ain't seeing it. So ow, that hurt. Right in the calf. All right, let me run down and get my tote of seed, and then I got a couple bags that I cleaned out of the drill, so we're gonna throw that stuff in first so it gets used first. All right, dump the mini bulk in there in a minute. First, I want to take care of these loose bags. See any critters nests in there? Damn it. Oh, well, I gotta get in there anyhow. These decal bags are some of my last parting gifts before I left. I needed something to clean the drill out into, so I went and grabbed a fistful of them. kind of wish I'd have grabbed more because they're handy to have around. All right, so what I got this year, actually it's the same stuff I got last year. It's a variety. Oops, damn it, come back here, everybody. It's a variety called Spitfire. It's a Michigan certified seed, grown here in Michigan. Actually grown by the guy I bought it from. This is actually the only stuff that I've planted that's not Wyckoff, and the only reason I don't buy Wyckoff wheat is because this guy's local, and I mean, if you didn't think you could get any smaller than Wyckoff, this guy is a one-man show. Although right now his mom and dad are helping him because he just had brain surgery to remove a non-cancerous tumor. So, but he loaded me. I think he's only been out of surgery. I think he's had his surgery 3 weeks ago, and he's already up and moving. I doubt the doctor would like him running forklift, but he said, screw it, I got stuff to get done, so whatevs. I just told him don't overdo it. But anyway, he is, other than that, a one-man show, and I don't feel bad about it because he's not even any sort of direct competition to Wyckoff, because literally all he deals in is small grains like wheat, oats, barley, stuff like that. And he grows it himself and cleans it himself, and he's got a cool little tower set up. But so it's like I say, it's Spitfire variety, and it is treated. I don't think this, I think this is just a, yeah, it's basically just a warning. It's the treatment is tabaconazole and metalaxyl, or yeah, metalaxyl, metalaxyl. They're both fungicides. So anyhow, get that thing hanging from the forklift and get it over the side. He crammed, normally mini bulks are 2,000 pounds, that's what they're rated for, and he crammed 2,400 pounds in here so we didn't have to make 2 bags. And I'm kind of, oof. I mean, the forklift will pick it up just fine, but you get 2,400 pounds hanging that high in the air off this thing, it gets a little sketchy to drive. Look out, Teeter. Gotta slide my forks out here. Crazy that you can pick up 2,400 pounds with plastic and thread. Oh, lordy. Stay on there. make sure you get good and square it up, because once you got this thing up in the air, you don't feel like turning. Really, once you got it up in the air, you don't feel like driving around, period, because it gets all roly-poly, but because in order to reach over the side, I gotta go to max lift. Oops. We are maxed out. 2,400-pound bag and have a little bit more sag to it, I guess, huh? Don't mind me. Oh no, he's standing under a suspended load. Well, how the hell else is he supposed to get to the spout? Here we go. Looks like a lot more when it's not in a bag. And there we go. Should be, I bought 2,400 pounds, then I threw what, 3 full bags and 2 half bags, so another, they were probably over full bags, so probably figure 60 pounds. Well, I'll just be conservative, say 50 pounds a piece, so another 150, say another 200 pounds, so it should be about 2,600 pounds here. All right, wheat's all loaded. I got the, apparently there'd been some critters in the auger over winter and they knocked a bunch of rust down into the pan, so I cleaned all that out and I got my new seed spout put on there. That's gonna be really nice not having that crumpled up one on there. That one didn't always flow seed so well, or fertilizer or anything. So I guess we can run this thing up to the farm and park it. Teeter, we going for a ride? Huh? We're going for a ride? Huh? Come on, let's go for a ride. Up, up. She did not like pulling that. Of course, between the wagon and what's in the wheat that's in it, there's probably damn near another 66 and a half sitting there, because this thing weighs like 3,400 pounds with the wide front on it. Seems like a 66 narrow front, at least for pulling purposes, you can get down to about 2,800 strips. Might even be able to get a little bit more out of it than that, but anyway, you can sit here where the corn head was for now until we're ready to use it. So I guess while I got you, we can run down there real quick and take a look at some beans, see where those are at. All right, they were getting close. They're still not so much in this side, but in that side, especially in the low spots that are wet, there is still a lot of green. Now this is one of the two fields that's going into wheat. Damn, these beans are tall. They're above my waist. Yeah, they're still, like, if you can bend them over and they don't snap, that's still quite a bit of green. I don't know if it's, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm reluctant, that's what I am. I'm reluctant to say this because there are still some beans that are green, like green alive around here, so it would suck for them guys. I actually haven't been past my 2 9s, because these are 2 6s, and then I got my 2 9s. I haven't been past though, and like, see right here's a pretty decent green spot yet. You can see, yeah, damn, these stems are still green. What we need is a hard frost to snap the rest of the green out of this crap. That's what we need. Well, like I say, there's enough green beans left around here, and here's another green spot. I was hoping to be able to start cutting beans Monday or Sunday or Monday. I was leaning more towards Monday because I don't mind combining on Sunday. I just don't want my very, very first day of the season to be a Sunday, because that just seems like you're asking for shit to go wrong. And we got some spots in here, not so much on the other side of the waterway, but right here, the beans must have been obnoxiously tall, and we had a big heavy rain that dropped 1 inch in like 1 hour and 45 minutes, I think. Might not even have been that long. Slow down, Turbo. But that rain stomped these beans down pretty good, so there's some spots where they're laid down. Not so bad that you won't be able to pick them up, but they are laying down. Like that. Anyway, I've been walking all this time and I haven't even popped a pod open. Come here. Not even. I mean, the beans themselves would probably go by Monday. I just don't think they would be very fun cutting this as green as these stems are. That being said, I think it's supposed to be 70 the rest of the way. Let's just check the weather right now. What's the weather got to say about temperature? If we could get a damn frost, though, that would, in a matter of a day, it would do more work than all the warm temperatures in the world right now. And it's supposed to remain pretty warm clear up until Thursday. We got a chance of rain. Must have a cold front coming through, because then the temperature drops back down into the 50s. We got 70, 67, 66, 69, 72, and then 59. Hell, I don't know what the right answer is. Nobody likes unslugging a combine. Green stem, then you got beans like that hell, that one doesn't even got any pods on it. I don't know what its deal is. And it's still grass green. But I guess if it ain't got any pods in it, you ain't gonna put any green beans in the tank. I don't know. As far as starting the combine, we'll just have to see how the stems dry down over the next couple days, and I might try to cut Monday, because especially I gotta go look at the other field that's going into wheat, because this one and that one I kind of want to prioritize and get off. That way I can get my wheat in a reasonable time, unlike last year where, you know, that pod feels wetter. Unlike last year where I was planting, ooh yeah, that one didn't even want to crack. Oh yeah, that's still doughy. I don't know, as much as I want to tell you guys, yes, we're going to be going Monday, I am still, like that one's still swelled up. It's squishy. I don't know. At this point, all I can tell you is we will see. After that, I don't know what to tell you. But we got plowing to get done. I still got to get the head put on the 7300 and drop the cutter bar back down into float. So we still got to get that done. And really, I think that's it. But I really, like I say, I really hope to start cutting this week. Now I guess if it won't be here, I need to go check, because this field would have been the second day of planting. Well, technically the second and third day of planting beans, because I got this half and part of that half done, and then it got dark on me. But this would have been the second day of planting beans, and I had the 3 fields that I planted the first day. Those might be a little further along, so I'll have to check those. If I could start doing something this week, I would be happy. But there has not been very many guys running yet. There's been some guys started shelling corn, very, very wet corn. Although I got some friends live south of here, they started shelling corn earlier this week, and they were down in the teens as far as moisture goes, because it was all dry land on sand, and they just flat out ran out of water, and the corn started drying down like beginning middle of August. But there's been guys shelling corn up close to 30. Some of them might even have been a little over 30 by now. Because I mean, when I say shelling green, I mean them stalks were, you get above the ear, them stalks are grass green. And there's about, like I say, there's been a few guys cutting beans, but everybody else I've talked to said they're either planning on trying to start this week, or they're figuring on waiting, and they're another week out yet. So it just feels weird, because normally around here there's a fair number of guys running at least by the last week of September, if not the third week of September. And this, like I say, there's hardly been anybody doing anything. It just feels weird. But that being said, we got started planting 2 weeks. Well, some guys got started planting 4 weeks later than normal, because we got guys around here that will start planting the second week of April. It seems a little early to me, but somehow they get away with it. Of course, replant's free, right? If you pay enough money for the good seed. So anyhow, this video, I was intending for it to be short, and it just got really damn long, so well, you get a Friday video, right? So anyway, I'm gonna go and get this video put together and see what the rest of the day brings, and then tomorrow morning we'll start plowing. Hopefully the hitch works the way it is. That way we don't waste too much time jacking with that, but time will tell in the morning, I guess, right? So that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.